Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, April 30th through Sunday, May 6th, 2018. For this week's weekly reading, we will be using the Archangel Power Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck by Doreen Virtue. Now this week obviously takes us into a new month, the month of May, so you'll want to make sure that you go onto my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the monthly angel card reading for the month of May as well to get an overview of the whole month. So to start, let's look at your stones of choice for the week. Your first stone of choice is called Amazonite. And this Amazonite is a beautiful, soft green stone. And this stone is actually a very receptive stone. So in other words, if you're needing to be open to receiving, to draw things to you, to magnetize things towards you, then this might be the stone for you. It's also a good grounding stone. It's a good business stone. And it actually is helpful to attract money and success. So again, this is Amazonite. Your second stone of choice is Sodalite. Sodalite is also a very receptive stone. It actually vibrates to the element of water, and it is blue, so it does look like water. And it also vibrates to the planet of Venus, which Venus rules both Taurus and Libra. And with the Venus rulership of Taurus, Taurus is also about money and finances as well. So it can be helpful in that, again, that receptive magnetizing mode. Sodalite is also a very emotionally healing stone. So it helps with healing the emotional body. It helps to alleviate stress or nervousness, frustration or fear. It's also good for attaining a sense of higher wisdom. So again, that's Sodalite. And then your last stone of choice is called Unakite. And the Unakite is a mossy green stone, but it has a pinky or rose-colored, mauve-colored little splotches on it, as you can see here. Now, the Unakite actually helps to balance also the emotional body. It assists in finding hidden blocks within the different energetic bodies and the meridians within your body. It vibrates, interestingly enough, to the sign of Scorpio, and we just had that Scorpio full moon on Sunday, the 29th of April. This also vibrates to the number 9 numerologically, and so the 9 vibration is a very humanitarian, spiritual, creative vibration. So again, this is Unakite. So again, stones of choice are the Amazonite, the Sodalite, or the Unakite for this week. Now, interestingly enough, those of you that watch my videos regularly know I always start with the astrological transits that are important for the week. And this particular week is very interesting. I don't think in all the years I've done these videos, I don't think I've ever seen a week that didn't have major planets connecting somewhere throughout the week with one another. This week, of course, we have the moon, and the moon always, as some of you may have heard me state in previous videos, the moon is always moving. It goes through each sign of the zodiac within 2.5 days. So in other words, it'll stay in Aries for 2.5 days approximately, then it moves into Taurus for approximately 2.5 days, and then Gemini and so on. So I don't always talk about the moon transits during the weekly videos. I usually save that for my daily Facebook posts under my Facebook page, Colleen Lemma. But this week, we don't actually have major planets connecting with one another, such as Venus, Mars, Jupiter. The moon, however, is connecting with several planets, obviously, throughout the week. So where I usually don't talk about those moon transits, and I usually just stick with those larger planetary connections, this week I am going to talk a little bit about the moon because there is no other planetary connections, which again is interesting. Now remember, we just had a full moon in Scorpio on Sunday, April 29th. So we're coming off of that intense full moon in Scorpio. Now, so it doesn't mean that nothing's going to be happening this week. I feel like, you know, now we're in this releasing phase. We're in a waning moon phase. So it's time to let go and release and purge and transmute. A lot of those keywords are Scorpio keywords anyway. It's time to release and let go. On Monday the 30th, the moon still is in Scorpio. And it's going to be connecting to Jupiter, which is now in retrograde motion. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It also rules our belief systems. It likes to make things bigger. So again, because it's only the day after the full moon in Scorpio, the moon in Scorpio connecting with Jupiter, I feel like we're still going to be feeling a lot of that intense full moon energy. Although again, it's a time of releasing. It's a time of letting go of situations and circumstances and possibly relationships that have been disempowering to you. Because again, that sign of Scorpio where Jupiter is and of the full moon is all about empowerment. It's about owning our power, merging into our power. And so when there's circumstances or situations that are disempowering, and because this is now after the full moon, even if it was approaching the full moon, I would say it's time to let go of those disempowering situations. Okay, now on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the moon is going to be in Sagittarius, and it's connecting with a lot of planets during those 3 days. First, the moon in Sagittarius is going to oppose Venus, which is now in Gemini. Venus rules relationships, it rules associations with women, it rules the divine feminine, and it also rules finances and money. And so that opposition, but again, you know, Venus in Gemini, Gemini is an air sign. The moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. So what happens when you put fire and air together? It creates a larger fire. And this is, I feel like, a good thing. I feel like this can create some creative, you know, efforts to expand, some inspirations. It can possibly lead to opportunities with money or within relationship circumstances and situations. Then the moon in Sagittarius, it makes a positive connection to Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication, our thoughts, our ideas. Mercury is still in Aries. So again, Aries is a fire sign. The moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a fire sign. This is a very positive connection here for communications, meetings, writing, speaking, teaching. Then the moon will actually challenge Neptune. So that can bring a little bit of heightened emotional sensitivity when the moon, which rules our emotions and our feelings, and then it challenges Neptune, which is a planet that rules the spiritual realm, but it also rules confusion and things not being clear, or, you know, things that are intangible. So I feel like we might be a little bit emotional within there, you know, as it connects with that. But then the last aspect the moon in Sagittarius makes, Tuesday through Thursday, is another positive connection to Uranus. Now, Uranus is energy of sudden and unexpected. It's the rebel. It's about the strange and unusual. You know, it's like expect the unexpected with Uranus. But again, it's a positive connection. So I feel like if we can stay in a good, positive place with our thoughts and with our emotions, I feel like this can be a 3-day time period that's very beneficial. However, again, with people that are struggling, or, you know, you have some personal transits in your own astrological birth chart that's going on that can kind of counteract some of this positivity a little bit. Moon with Uranus can actually bring emotional outbursts. Even though it's a positive aspect, people can be you know, blurting things out without thinking, because that's what Sagittarius likes to do, and that's where the moon is. You know, a lot of times Sagittarius energy just kind of has an opinion, and they kind of just speak it very bluntly. And again, with that connection with Uranus, that can bring some unexpected kinds of responses from people. On Friday the 4th, the moon is now transitioned into the next sign, of Capricorn. So the moon in Capricorn on Friday is going to connect with Saturn, and Saturn has pretty recently gone into retrograde motion, and so it's still very slow moving, which means the energy is a little bit more intensified with Saturn. Saturn is the teacher of lessons. He deals with karma, karmic situations. He is about responsibility, structure. He also rules limitation and restriction. Also rules manifestation, though. So with the moon in Capricorn connecting with Saturn in Capricorn, this could actually be good to motivate us towards goals that we're pursuing, especially if they're goals that relate to business, career, finance, again, work projects, things of that nature, because that's all Capricorn energy. So have patience, because Saturn is a planet where we need to have patience and take things slowly and understand everything that it's all about. But with the moon there connecting with Saturn, it can actually help us to build kind of a structure, and it can help us to be a little bit more grounded within our emotional level. As opposed to when the moon was in Sagittarius, we might feel a little ungrounded, but now the moon in Capricorn, an earth sign, can help us to feel more grounded here, and especially with Saturn. On Saturday the 5th, the moon in Capricorn is going to positively connect with the sun, which is in Taurus. So again, it has this nice grounding effect and working towards goals and paying attention to finance or business or career matters. But then it moves on Saturday, and it challenges Mercury, and it connects with Pluto. So as we move throughout the day on Saturday, we might be a little bit more challenged when it comes to communication matters or our thinking. And then when it connects with Pluto, it can have this, again, intensified effect on an emotional level, because again, the moon rules our emotions, and Pluto is about big change and transformation and death and rebirth and transmuting old energies. Then on Sunday the 6th, the moon, again, still in Capricorn for the morning hours, and this is Eastern time. So Eastern time, morning hours, the moon is in Capricorn, connects with now Mars, and then challenges Uranus at the last degree of Aries. Okay, Uranus is going to be moving soon into the sign of Taurus. But as it connects with Mars, which is again, after it connects with Pluto on Saturday, it connects with Mars. So again, there's this intensification of energies here. Both Mars and Pluto are pretty intense planetary energies. And then that challenging aspect, that square aspect to Uranus, can again bring about some unexpected responses, emotional responses from people, some frustrations, maybe even some anger, because Mars does rule that kind of anger, assertiveness energy, warrior energy. Then in the morning, again Eastern time, 10:48 a.m. Eastern time, the moon will then transition into Aquarius. So that will, bring a little bit different flavor to the rest of the morning and throughout the afternoon on Sunday. Now that's pretty much the aspects for the week. However, I do want to say that early on Monday, the 7th of May, which is going to be part of next week's reading, but because this aspect happens at 4:49 a.m. Eastern time between Mercury and Pluto, I just wanted to briefly mention it here because we will be feeling it approaching on Sunday, the 6th of May. Mercury is again about thoughts, ideas, and how we communicate. It's challenging Pluto, and Pluto is about, again, what? Power and control, transformation, death and rebirth. So there may be some power and control struggles or issues or challenges within communications with other people or within ourselves and how we're thinking or perceiving something. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides through the Power, or the Archangel Power Tarot deck. So the first card is the Six of Gabriel. This is like the Six of Fire in the traditional tarot deck. This is a very positive card. I love this card. First of all, the number 6, numerologically speaking, is a number of balance. It does rule home and family, but it also in some aspects rules career and business. And the reason why is if you think about a 6-sided star, think about the geometric shape with 6 points. We have a Star of David, okay? So think about a triangle pointing upwards and then another triangle pointing downwards. They're intersecting themselves. It's creating a Star of David with 6 points. That's the geometric shape for the number 6. And so that resonates to as above, so below. It also is about balance because those two triangles that are intersecting are perfectly balanced with one another. So it also creates a Merkaba energy. If you know what a Merkaba is, some of you that don't might want to Google that and look that up. But a Merkaba is just that geometric shape and it's spinning. And again, it creates this balance of as above, so below, or as it is in the heavens, so it is on the earth plane. This is about balancing home, family, or everyday matters, our emotional body, with career, life path, destiny path, and matters of third dimensional world. This is why it's a number of balance. Now the message on the bottom of the card actually says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. Awards, scholarships, or promotions here are possible. So this is kind of a card of success on kind of a career level or a life path, destiny path level. So again, this is the fire suit. So the fire suit is about the spiritual realm. Now, even though it's the spiritual realm, as far as the suit is concerned, it still talks about career matters, work matters, again, life path, destiny path, who you are out in the world, what you're accomplishing, and being recognized for what you're accomplishing. So there's something really good happening here. Now this is the first card for the week, and it's right after that full moon in Scorpio that we had on Sunday. So I feel like Spirit is saying with this card, your angels and guides are talking about an overall energy of success. And I do feel like it's more than just career and tangible things. I think like this is on a spiritual level. I feel like this is okay. You've successfully traversed some difficult, challenging energies. So, you know, congratulations basically is what they're saying. It's time to move now to the next step of your highest and most important destiny path. That's the message I'm getting through this card. But let's take a look at the next card and see if we can attain some additional information. Okay, so now we have the King of Michael. This is like the King of Swords in the traditional tarot. The King of Michael, the keywords at the top says principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. Okay, the King is a court card, and it's the most mature of the court cards. We have the Page, we have the Knight, then we have the Queen, and then we have the King. So the King is the leader. The suit of Michael is the suit of swords, so this is about our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, and how we communicate. So this leader is one of speaking his mind, speaking his truth, but in a very respectful, professional manner. The message at the bottom says, wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. So I'm going back to the Six of Gabriel. They're leading me back to that card, and they are saying that some of this may very well, for some of you, deal with career path, work-related activities, projects that you're working on perhaps with other people, and also, again, just your life path and destiny path in general. So some of you, in working on the next step of your path, are needing to communicate with someone. Maybe it's you know, meeting with a professional. Maybe it's a group activity. Maybe it's networking. You know, this is, again, all kind of professionally led with the King of Michael. But there's some sort of very open, honest communication that you need to have, but again, in a very professional, respectful manner. The King, again, is the most mature of the court cards, and so he's not haphazard with what he's saying. Okay, he thinks and he contemplates very carefully how he wants to word things and what he needs to communicate when it comes to communications. So this is what we're going to be doing, what we need to do as we move throughout our week. All right, and let's look at the last card. Okay, it seems like we had this card. This is Major Arcana number 21, the World card. Seems like we had this either last week or the week before, if I recall correctly. But the World card is the last of the major arcana in the deck. And in this deck, it's ruled by Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is the archangel that assists us on the next step of our highest, most important destiny path. He kind of guides the way, leads the way courageously, confidently, helps to cut cords of limitation and restriction as we move forward. The message at the bottom, a very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. So this is a card of soul growth because it's a major arcana card, okay? It means our soul is evolving to the next level, especially with the World card here. The World card being the last of the major arcana means we're ending something. We're coming full circle, as it says. And as it says, it's a very happy ending, okay? It's time now to release and let go of the past, or release and let go of whatever the cycle was about that we just completed, so that we can move forward. Because again, with this being the last major arcana, we then move back to major arcana 0, the Fool card, and about having, taking a leap of faith into a new beginning. So here we're clearing, just as again the moon now, after it being full on Sunday, the moon is now waning. It's in a releasing cycle, so it's a completion cycle, it's a letting go cycle, and that resonates with this World card. Now again, this is something about our soul growth and evolution. It's something about a karmic pattern, or it's something about a situation or circumstance that's now coming to a close that we do not need to repeat anymore. We do not need to hang on to anymore. And Archangel Michael is going to assist us in clearing us and leading the way to the next step. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So let's take a moment, take a moment, and we're going to shuffle the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck. And right away, this one's popping up for the Amazonite people. Amazonite people, lovely. It's a new dawn. Okay, the message at the bottom, the worst is now behind you and positive new experiences are on the horizon. Beautiful. This is a beautiful message. And again, that full moon, the World card here in the, in the main part of the reading, is saying it's time to let go of something. And as you let go, as you release and surrender and let go of whatever that circumstance, situation, relationship, maybe it's an emotional energy, thought pattern, karmic pattern, as you release and let that go, you can see here the sun is rising for you. The sun is rising. It's a new day, a new dawn, a new energy. And I feel like there's a need for you all. There is yellow in this card, and this woman in the card does have yellow hair. This relates to the solar plexus chakra, which is about our center of personal power, our center of being confident, okay? I feel like you need to do some meditation on that solar plexus chakra this week. Meditate on the idea of owning your personal power, merging with your personal power, or taking back if it's been dissipated towards a situation or person. Take it back. Take back your personal power. So this is about empowering yourself. And as you do, you're going to feel stronger, more alive, more confident, more self-assured, more self-reliant, to actually move towards this new dawn, this new energy cycle. All right, let's take a look at the special message card for the Sodalite people. And so let's give it a little shuffle here, looking for Sodalite people, and this one's calling my attention back here. Sodalite people, father healing. Wow, this is about empowerment as well. Father healing says your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. So this could very well be regarding the parent of authority. In most cases, that's the father. It could be relating to some sort of karmic patterns or belief systems that go back to that parent. Again, that parent of authority. This can be about your own masculine nature, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean it's about your father, but it can be about your masculine side, that side of you that, again, is the leader, takes charge, makes things happen, takes action on thoughts, moves forward confidently. So you might need to do some healing with your masculine side, or again, maybe with a pattern with your father. Again, this is about claiming your sense of personal power, owning your personal power again this week. And that's interesting. Again, we're coming off that full moon, and that Scorpio energy is all about empowerment versus disempowerment, okay? And so it seems that as we're coming off that full moon energy last week, there's a lot of healing that's going on within the realm of our sense of personal power. So I feel like for some of you here, this is also speaking of some emotional releasing that needs to happen. We have Poseidon here, which is actually the planet Neptune, interestingly enough. The god Poseidon rules the sea, and that's who we see pictured in this Father Healing card. And that sea, that water is the emotional body, the emotional realm. But you can see in the background that there's sunlight back there. Even though the clouds are dark at the very top of the card, you can see that in the middle, the sun is trying to peek through. The sun is coming through. That means we're empowering ourselves. We're taking our power back. There's light ahead, basically. Things are clearing. So the emotional body is clearing for you this week. All right, for those of you that chose the Unikite, all right, Unikite people, and this one caught my attention, self-employment. So that's not a big surprise with the Capricorn moon and the moon in Capricorn connecting with Saturn. Saturn rules the sign of Capricorn. And again, on Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday, the moon is in Capricorn. That is all about, again, career, employment, recognition, appreciation for who you are out in the world. You know, the work that you're doing for people out in the world. So this card says self-employment. It says you're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. So we can take that quite literally for some of you. Others of you, you might be contemplating moving out of a particular career and maybe starting your own business. So that can be taken quite literal as well as far as self-employment is concerned. At the very least, this card in general for the Unikite people is talking about, again, having, taking more of a leadership position in what you're doing, your career path, your work that you're doing, again, who you are out in the world. So if it's, you know, if it's not specifically about being self-employed or becoming self-employed, it's at the very least about having more responsibility, okay? So perhaps you're working for a corporation, perhaps you're working for someone else. This is about you owning your leadership abilities, your take charge abilities, and perhaps there's a promotion that's coming up for you. Perhaps there's more responsibility that leads to a raise or more money or more job security. But this is all about focusing on, again, the next step of your destiny path. You know, it doesn't have to be so specific as related to job or career. This can just be about your life path, your destiny path, and again, taking charge and making things happen as you move forward. This is saying that, again, you know, in a way it talks about owning your power too, as it says you're a born entrepreneur. You know, entrepreneurs are people that individually take charge, make things happen for themselves, start their own business, and that leads to self-empowerment as well. So in some way, this card is also about empowering yourself within who you are out in the world, what you're doing out in the world. All right. I hope you've all liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, a reminder to watch the monthly angel card reading for the month of May. Thank you so much for all of you that comment on these videos. I appreciate all of them, and I do read the comments even if I don't get to responding all of them. Also, thank you for those that share the video, subscribe to my channel, that also watch my Facebook posts under my 2 pages, Colleen Lemma and Sacred Soul Empowerment. Thank you to those that visit my website, Sacred Soul Empowerment. Be sure to check out the website and look at some of the new products or services that are going to soon be offered and actually have been being offered through Facebook. So thank you so much, everyone. I send you all much love and light and many, many angel blessings.